Hey there YouTube, welcome back to my channel and happy Sunday. If you've watched the other videos, thank you very much. If you're enjoying this series, please hit like and subscribe. The last video that I did was the reveal between the Pernambuco and the Fiddlerman bow. I'm going to do it again in a year. Once I've gotten a lot more experience, my intonation's better, my notes are coming out more the way I want them to. I'll do it again so that we can get a more fair comparison. Apologize for my grammar, but it is what it is. So what I wanted to do on this episode, other than just practice, I wanted to elaborate on building a major scale. I had discussed it and brought it up on one of my previous episodes, and I really think it's an important skill to understand and build because it opens up the instrument in whole new ways. Learning to build the major scale opens up the concept of scales and arpeggios and modes, and then how to use them depending upon what you're doing. So I touched on it being a pattern of whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And it's not always an easy concept to grasp your mind around unless you're looking at something. Let me put my violin down. Sometimes I forget I have this handy little hook that I purchased, and I go set it down and waste the money that I spent on this thing. So, alright. So, the first thing to think about, and how I've processed it a lot, is just looking at the keyboard. And if you start with the C as a root note and then move up to the next C, you can see how it lays out with C to D has a black note in between, which is the half step. So C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step with a half note in between. E to F has no black note, so that's a half step by itself. Then F to G, G to A to B, and then finally you go from B to C, which is also the half note. I'm going to show you quick on one of my guitars how that lays out on a stringed instrument. And this works with guitar, it works with cello, works with string, violin, mandolin, ukuleles, whatever. The pattern remains the same going up the neck, and usually when I start teaching a guitar student, that's how I go with it, with the concept that I want you to hear how the notes lay out and see those patterns before we start putting the pictures or the words, in our case for music, notes, to go along with that. So on this guitar we're going to start out with the E string because it's the easiest for me to stretch and show this pattern. So we start with an open root note. Then I use my second finger for the second fret, skipping this one. This is my proverbial black note on the keyboard. That's my second note of the scale. I skip this one. Then I do a half step. Now, I am going to shift my entire hand up to right here. This is my perfect fifth. Now I'm going to go to my sixth, seventh, eighth. Now the beauty of learning to do this is it gives you a chance to fake your way through different key signatures. Somebody says, you know, hey, this is in the key of A. Well, great. You know, I can take and start out on my A note here on the E string, and I have all the notes in that A major scale that I can use. And it works all the way across it. So you've got 5 different key signatures here. Go up a half step, you have another 5 key signatures, another half step, another 5 key signatures. And as you get going on it, you can start adding those different key signatures together to make a difference. Now, to show you how it does work with the violin, keep in mind, still not as nearly as good with violin as I am with making a guitar sound good, but guitar has frets, violins doesn't. So let's try it on, I'm going to try it on the low G string because it has the best tone. So we have open, whole step, whole step, half step. Then I'm going to shift my entire hand up to a whole step. That's my fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So that way I've got that whole thing. And then once you figure that out, you can also do it going across in a more boxed pattern. Like that. Then you can work your way all the way across the neck. We'll try it again. And then you can start breaking it up. And you're going to see that a lot in music. When a lot of things are written, it's really they are embellishing on chord changes as the piece progresses. And it really kind of opens up sight reading too, because you start looking for your chords. You start looking for your arpeggios and then the embellishment notes that lead up or down to that next note in that chord structure or that arpeggio. And to show that it works on everything that's a stringed instrument, let me put you on pause a second. Alright, so I've got my wife's cello out here, and you'll see we've got the first position fingerings, but I'm going to show you that it works not only with the guitar, with the violin, also with the cello. And again, you can do it with mandolin, you can do it with any other stringed instrument, banjos, whatever. So first we're going to have our open note, then we're going to have our first note, which is a whole step, another whole step to our third note, half step to our perfect fourth. Now we're going to shift the whole hand up. That's our fifth. That's almost the sixth. We're going to try it again. There it is. Don't play the cello very often, but that way I've got my major scales sitting there. And I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to play arpeggios on this one right now. But I hope that you find that knowledge useful and you can use it in your own practicing. It does allow you, once you get going on this, rather than trying to focus on notes that you're reading on a page, you can get that scale down and play the notes, not just the songs. So you don't have multiple things going on in your head at the same time. And you can just focus on the quality of the note itself. I know that's what I'm personally doing, and it seems to be helping. So, all right, next time for the next episode, I've gone out to one of my local music stores and picked up this. it is the accompaniment book with all the harmonies and the second parts to the songs that are in the Suzuki books that I'm using. And so what I'm going to do is I'm using the guitar to create recordings of the melody from the Suzuki volumes 1, 2, and 3, and then I can play the second part along with them for you, so that way you have something to practice along with as well. I'm finding it's helping me with my intonation and making sure that I have the proper notes, because you can hear it when the notes that you're playing don't coincide with the harmony. So I'm hopefully that will help. And somewhere down the road, I also managed to pick up Vivaldi's Opus 3. I'm not going to say that it's not complicated, but it doesn't have a ton of double stops on it. It will be out of position from this open first position on the violin, so it's going to take some time to work on it, but I wanted to challenge myself with something that was impressive. If you haven't heard it, I'm sure you have. It's a very popular piece. I was watching Itzhak Perlman play it, so go check out that video. He was a monster player, and props to him. So, all right, happy Sunday again. Tune in next time for episode 3. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button so you get the next episode when it comes out. Till next time, have a great day, great night, and be good to each other. Bye.